Welcome to the Limitless Creators. For the record keepers, today is March 9th, 2026. How's everybody feeling? How are you doing? What is allowed in your field? We finally exited the eclipse portals. We're still technically in. Mercury is in the microwave retrograde in Pisces, so we're still feeling that. So if you're noticing that, feel free to put an emoji in the chat or leave a response, a cute little response in the comments, and tell us like how that feels to you. I think we'll be shifting out of it before too long. But yeah, I just want to welcome you in today. This is what we're going to talk about. It's kind of a play on words. We did gridding your field. It's been a while since we've done gridding your field. This is going to be grounding your field. And it's a little bit different vibe than gridding your field was. Gridding your field was like really talking about kind of this in-depth protocol, but grounding your field is going to be kind of, it's a lot of practical align action steps that you probably already know, but we like to talk about things and kind of like remind ourselves, because you just get into kind of the grind of life, I think, and we're all kind of going and dealing with similar things. A lot of the stuff that's happening, there's some shifts that are happening. We just exited the eclipse portal. We had that full moon, which is a lunar eclipse in Virgo. And even though Virgo is very grounding, and the lunar eclipse itself is not nearly as intense as the solar eclipse are, still a lot of people just aren't having a great time. Christina said, our fields, individual and collectively, is picking up momentum in the synchronicities. Thank you for saying that. You worded it perfectly. Perfectly. A lot of us are feeling that shift, that fire horse frequency shift that happened the Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year on the 17th of February. So about 3 weeks ago now, or roughly 3 weeks ago now, shifted the energetic significantly, and a lot of us are feeling that shift. And even some of the stuff that we're feeling is collective, and it feels like mine. So sometimes it's like, is this me that I'm feeling, or am I feeling like something that's coming through for the collective? Christina says, yay, it felt, is that winding or winding? Winding. Felt winding. So we're just going to talk about like grounding practices, anchoring practices, kind of give you some practical aligned steps. And again, you may know all of this, and I'm not here to, I'm just here to basically, this is like your, winding, okay, yeah. Wine. I think wine helps too if you're in that frequency. I don't know. I'm no longer in that frequency, but I have a couple friends who ground their field with, certain things. So yeah, we're going to talk about grounding your field today. 2 bottles of wine in your basement. Okay. Are you into red or white? Feel like leave us a little comment and tell us what your favorite wine is. So I put in our Telegram chat specifically about deepening your roots. Oh, okay. Aurora said she. Aurora said, stop drinking once I was awakened. Same Z. I didn't fully stop, but I've been sober for like 2-3 years now. Yeah, so just grounding in, deepening your roots. For me, grounding in is just, it's a kind of a play on words to deepening your roots. Different practices that we talk about, like breathwork, is kind of like my personal go-to, something that I love and I'm very, very passionate about. There's all types of different, really infrequent for Christina, okay. Just to clarify, really infrequent drinking of wine, okay, yeah. Not breathwork. Breathwork we're recommending daily, if you got the time to do it. Yeah. If you can get a daily practice of breath work, it'll literally change your life. Breath work for me was one of those things that I found after meditation. I found it probably like 2 or 3 years ago now, maybe 3 years ago, 3 to 4 years ago now. Breathe. Yeah, we all breathe naturally. You can literally like ground in now, put your hand on your heart chakra, and you don't even have to think about breathing, which is why it's so magical. We're talking more about like conscious breath work. There's a bunch of different techniques here. 478 is my personal favorite, but also 369 if you're into 369 breathing. And exactly like it sounds, 478, if you're not familiar, so these are counts. 4 count in, so it'll be sharp, deep breath in, sip at the top, so I put emphasis sip at the top, hold for 7, holding, and you're sucking your belly button into your back, activating that root lock, activating, some people even say like you can squeeze like a Kegel, and then exhaling, sigh, buzz, or hum, making a sound on the way out. Oh. And you could do that 3, 4, 5 times. Typically I'll go like 3 or 4 times because the first time you're just like calibrating to it and I don't always feel like I do it correctly. So I'll typically do a 4 breaths of 4, 7, 8 or 3, 6, 9. If you're like pregnant or you have high blood pressure, it's not recommended to hold your breath, so just kind of keep that in mind. That increases pressure in this area, and that may not necessarily be useful to you. So just, obviously with your own personal discernment. Breath of fire is another one of those breaths, and you can find all these breaths on YouTube. Typically in the past, I've put like a little YouTube video up there. Just go to YouTube and type each breath in, and you can pull up free videos. Breath of fire is a very quick, it's a diaphragm breath, so it's essentially contracting your diaphragm, which sits right underneath your rib cage, and then so conscious contraction, and then you just release, and it's very quick. So it's like I usually sit up, you can lay down. It's like, and you're not really supposed to. You can kind of get this movement like this, and you don't really want to have that movement. You want to like do real quick, like breaths like that. You could go for minutes. You'd be surprised how long you can go. The Kiras or in Kundalini Yoga, you can go up to, I think, 11 minutes. I don't do breath of fire for 11 minutes. I can barely make it like 4, 5, or 6 minutes for breath of fire. But typically these breaths are kind of in a sequence. You're not just doing straight breath of fire, although you can definitely do straight breath of fire. Alternating nostrils. So this is thumb to ring finger. So you could take your thumb and you're doing thumb to right nose, and you take a deep breath in, and you can do 8-8 for this or 7-7. So deep breath in, hold, and then you alternate with a ring finger. You can do ring or ring and pinky. I just use my ring finger. And then you're breathing out on that same side. So I'm plugging the left and then breathing out. And then you can alternate. So you go now left nostril, left pinky, or not left pinky, pinky onto the nostril, and then breathe out the right. So it's thumb to ring finger, like alternating. And that's supposed to, that type of breath helps to connect. I think the way they explained to me, like helps to connect the different hemispheres of the brain in particular. I never used to know about that one, but it's a really good one. And then I put a link here for you. Free podcast, Breathing Empowered. This is my buddy. He doesn't charge you any money. So this is like a free podcast. The link is to YouTube, but he also has Spotify. I listen to him on Spotify. Great dude, amazing, very loving human being. His name is Kai, Breathing Empowered. I'm just gonna like plug him, Breathing Empowered on all the socials too. My favorite free breath work. Of course you can support him if you want to support him. I think he has like links where you can support him, but highly recommend him. Under the grounding in, talking about patience has kind of been a theme for us recently. Patience with ourselves and patience with one another. Patience with what's happening and going on in the world too, I think is very important. And pacing. too. So Christina had shared earlier in the chat, and thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate the shares with everybody. Um, but pacing is important, and this is what I'll say why. So not everybody can go hard and fast. If you are neurotypical, ADHD, ADD, autistic, whatever, there is this thing called, or even not any of those things, but hyperfixation. We discover something new, like a hobby or something, a modality or something in spirituality, and you really get hyperfixated on it, and you want to go kind of like hard and fast. You want to learn it all the way through. And as things are shifting energetically, pacing is very important for us. If you're one of those people and you know that you'll hear Lenny talk about sometimes like her inner turtle or her turtle speed, and that is really kind of an emphasis on pacing yourself. Sometimes there's a lot of value in going hard and fast, and there's a lot of value in being hyperfixated, and to me, hyperfixation is a superpower. If you have that, if you feel that you have that or you notice that in yourself, like leave me a comment and reply in the chat here and let us know, because I feel like it is a superpower. You can go, you can hyperfixate and just kind of like plow through something that really captivates you, something that like really catches your attention. And just pacing is all. We're talking about grounding your field. Pacing is just something that will help you not get burnt out. If you don't typically go hard and fast, and you catch yourself in a period where the energy has shifted and you are going hard and fast, or if we're talking about, you're like, what is that called? Like a projector, you're human design. So if you're a projector human design, you know who you are. About roughly, I think 20% of the population is a projector. 10 or 20, I think it's 20. Could be 10, but I'm pretty sure it's 20. Projectors have a finite amount of energy, and I'm not talking like health-related energetics here. I'm talking about energy, like energetics and your actual physical level of energy in your body. And as a projector, if you overextend or overexert yourself without taking breaks, without getting some rest, that can cause them a lot of issues. So that's why we talk about pacing. Credit to Vincent for this cool picture. Maybe he can let us know about this cool little mountain that he had linked for us in our Telegram. Somatics, we've been talking about somatics, and it's been really loud in the field. Oops, go back. Intuitive movement plus the breath. Qigong, Tai Chi, Aurora shouted out to that. This picture is for the nature bullet here. Spending time out in nature, spending time in the elements, working with the elements, hiking, grounding yourself out in nature. It could be your bare feet, it could be hands, it could be your body. Maybe you're one of those people who's into plants. I like plants a lot, and if you partake of plants, sometimes you're just laying there on the ground, you know what I mean? Just being one with nature. I don't know if I would lay on the snow. I think it's possible. I don't know how long you can lay in the snow. Neither Christina knows. She's from Colorado.
If you're dressed for it, like in snowboarding gear, it's nice. It's no problem. If you're not, it's horrible.
Okay, let's talk about this. Remember when we were kids, so welcoming in the galactic children, our inner child, any children frequencies that you are working with. What about when you were a kid, you made snow angels? How does that work?
What do you mean by how does that work? Because I think you know how to make them.
Yeah, but I'm saying like we were children, and we made, I'm just sending Lenny the link here. We made snow angels, and we were fine for that. So how does
Yeah, but we
that work?
didn't lay in it for very long. After we made the angels, we'd get up and we'd look at
Yeah.
it, and then I'd go sledding.
Sledding, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Me and my brothers would make some wild, little ramps. We're so lucky we
Yeah.
didn't get hurt with the things that we built in our backyard. Not just with snow, with We like made a zip line out of this like thing for the dog, and yeah, we were smart though. We were never the ones that got hurt. It was like a friend would come over, wouldn't listen to us, and then they'd get
Oh
hurt.
my gosh, can you
That's neither here
imagine?
nor there. But we lost a zip line from that. Yeah.
Yeah, just grounding in nature, hiking. Many of us love hiking as well too. Sun gazing at dusk or dawn is very, very activating. I understand this is about like deepening your roots or grounding. Aurora said she loves hiking. Do you
Yeah.
have a favorite hike? Any of you guys have a favorite hike you want to share?
Mm.
In Canada, there are lots of hiking places nearby has Algonquin Park, so it's just a huge park with lots of hiking trails. And in BC has lots of hiking trail too. The Rocky
Yeah.
Mountain.
There's a lot in Colorado. It's hard to choose a favorite.
Yeah, I hear you.
But you know, before I had a car seat in the car, my back seat had hiking shoes, Camelback, and like a closet of different jackets because you know it could be 50, it changes so fast.
Mhm.
So I had a
That's
little
true.
closet in the back, but not anymore.
I got that currently in my truck. What about Vincent? I feel like Vincent has just like random camping and hiking stuff probably in his vehicle too. Set up so he can just like go if he needs to go. And he's located in a different part of the U.S. as well too than most of us are. But yeah, if you have a favorite hiking spot or something favorite that you like to do, like we're gonna plan a bonfire. We're gonna be working with fire here coming up pretty soon, and it's starting to warm up again. And not that it really got cold per se, but it did snow, and now that it's getting into like the mid like 50s and up and like 60s, like it's prime like camping, hiking weather outside. Before I'm sure it'll get cold again. Um, but yeah, just getting out into nature, meditation practices as well too. I think everybody, if you're here in this frequency, you're aligned to the frequency of meditating, and maybe probably already have some type of meditation practice. So again, this is just a gentle reminder on good ways to like ground yourself in too. One thing that may not be as common is a stillness practice. Shutting the lights off, getting dark, closing your eyes, using a blindfold, using noise canceling headsets, and really just sitting into stillness. And it doesn't have to be super long. It could be 10 minutes. If you don't have 10 minutes, it could be 5. Maybe you get, Christina said this is your jam. Which part of that, Christina, would you say?
The just being in stillness, having my noise canceling headphones on. I also like to take I have this one down pillow that I really love, and I just kind of wrap it around the sides of my head. It's a king size pillow. It's really squishy, and they're just wrapped around so like my face is visible, but it just feels like it's my angel guard. That was a great time for his sound effect. But yeah, and I can do that with my eyes open, but I very much enjoy and prefer when I can do it with my eyes closed. But yeah, when you have a kid, you do what you do.
Yeah, that's a good reminder too, because not everybody has the ability to find quietness, to find stillness. So there are those were great recommendations on how to kind of explore that. And I put on here exploring the edges too. So a lot of times if you're starting a meditation practice or even starting a breathwork practice, it's not super comfortable. And that's just kind of like exploring the edges basically means like doing something outside of your comfort zone. And when it gets uncomfortable, whether it's breathwork or whether it's meditation, or you're finding yourself getting distracted, kind of explore that. Sit in that and see how that like actually feels. follow that, maybe not even just like with your mind, but like follow that with your breath or follow that with your heart, or explore those spaces, explore the darkness. If you typically need light, maybe kind of work your way towards the dark, or vice versa, switching it up a little bit, getting
Think
those
of it in
different
terms of
frequencies.
like vibrations, instead of seeing it as like, oh, that's dark or that hurts, or it vibrates differently than the rest of your other parts, and so I just kind of, it's a lot easier for me to approach it, with love and remembering I'm safe, and that I don't have to. I'm not trying to like change everything I see. That's not the initial approach. It's just to be with, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. A lot of the times you'll hear talking about like returning to your center too, and some of that is like, it could be your heart center, it could be your breath, it could be just bringing your awareness back within. Like if something is catching your attention, whether it's sound or a sensation or a feeling that's coming up, really the practice of meditation is bringing yourself back over and over and over and over again, and that's what we talk about, kind of exploring the edges, particularly if you don't have a lot of quiet in your life, or you live in like a big city and it's not as common. But finding movement, I think we can make time for every single day, or at least every other day. I think this is something that continues to come up with somatics. It's been very, very loud. It doesn't have to be the gym, but the gym is something that I participate in, which is why I wrote it in there. Walking, and then I put into jogging. So we want to kind of elevate our heart rate. So a lot of us walk, whether it's like part of your job and you're getting your 10,000 steps in a day, which is great. It's definitely better than not doing any walking. But also, jogging elevates your heart rate. And if you can't jog, because I understand that due to medical reasons, not everybody can jog, or not everybody can walk for extended periods of time. Really, it's about, again, exploring those edges and getting yourself uncomfortable, because a lot of times we have these stories about why we can't do something, why this is uncomfortable, why I don't want to do it, why this doesn't feel aligned. And these different practices allow you to kind of explore just different ways to kind of get yourself there. I put outside is better than inside. You can do the treadmill. I'm not saying anything's wrong with the treadmill, especially if it's cold right now and you're part of the world. But outside is more aligned, energetically. And ecstatic dance too is a great way. It doesn't need to be anything super masculine. It could literally just be putting on your favorite music, your favorite tune, singing, and just intuitively kind of like moving your body. Ecstatic dance is ecstatic dance. There is a lot of intuitive flow into that, and it is kind of like a specific style of music for ecstatic dance. But it doesn't have to be that. Like, these are practices. I'm literally just making suggestions, and it's up to you to kind of decide what is most aligned for you. What is something that I'm going to make a part of my actual, that's why it's called like spiritual practice, right? We talk about energetic hygiene, daily hygiene quite a bit, but this is focused on more so the healing and clearing of it. There's a lot of different ways to heal and clear. Burning of sage for clearing, Palo Santo kind of for like blessing the space, I guess, or a lot of people, like, I love the way Palo Santo smells. If you can only do one, I would choose Palo Santo personally. Like, if you're like, I can't afford to buy both, or I'm not aligned to light stuff up, you can even do sprays too. So cleansing oils and sprays. If you're in a place where you can't burn anything because you're renting, or you're in Airbnb, or you're in a small space and people are sensitive, you can do like little sprays, little spritzers, or just use oils and put them on your body too. Christina said, I love Palo Santo. Yeah, it smells so good. If you have like a favorite oil or a favorite spray, definitely like let us know, because we all kind of want to tap in with one another and try some new things. Water is super, super cleansing. It could be taking a shower, it could be getting into the river, it could be cold plunges is another way to work with water. Steam rooms, wet steam rooms is another way to work with water, which will help clear and integrate and anchor your field. Healing, so different types of modalities of healing, Reiki healing, quantum healing, channeled modalities for healing and clearing are always great. Use your own discernment and go to somebody that is recommended or somebody that you know and trust. But if you aren't able to afford, because not everybody can afford to pay for a healing from somebody else, maybe speak with your friends, speak with members of your community, this community here, and maybe you can work out something where we can exchange with one another. It's very common in spiritual community to do exchanges. And okay, Christina said, aloe vera juice, the clear liquid that tastes like fresh spring water. I keep some in a spritzer in my fridge. Nice, yeah. Moon water comes to mind too. Florida water is another good one as well too to spritz. Agua, what is it called? There's another one that's like agua something, which is another popular one. But just asking your friend or your partner or somebody that you trust to like check you and help clear you. Maybe they are trained in a modality, maybe they aren't trained, maybe it's just like I trust this person to check me, and maybe you're feeling something, like you're noticing like, typically what I notice, and I'll just give you an example, but for you it could be different, it's like I notice that I'm feeling something that isn't mine, right? It's a collective, it's like I'm irritated, I'm like feeling short or anxious, and like I don't normally feel this way, and then I'll talk to my friend and say, hey, do you mind like checking me? Do you mind like clearing me? Do you mind like just like waving your hand? Whatever it is, I'll ask them to kind of like look over me and see if they can see something that I can't see. Like I'll check myself, but it's not always as easy to like look at yourself as it is to look at somebody else or have somebody that you trust look at you. When I say look, I'm talking much more like energetic, Protection is one of those things that I'm not going to speak extensively about. Everybody has their own kind of protection practices, and if you guys have something that you want to share, feel free to like unmute and share here, or type it into the chat and share with us like what is your go-to protection or shielding practice. I put a couple here underneath. Setting an intention is huge when it comes to healing and clearing and protecting your field. Frequency dome is another one that we've talked about before. Specifically, Mariana works with domes, but I use holy fire, cast a ring clockwise around myself, a separate holy fire ring counterclockwise, so there's a double ring, put into the four corners of the room a pillar of holy fire or a pillar of fire, and then use all of those and just build a dome around it. And I envision that dome kind of surrounding me, built out of holy fire. You can use a color. You can use a frequency, like plasma specifically is another one that some people use. And very, very like protective. There's a honeycomb dome is available too. That's another one. If you're not familiar with that one, you can build a dome just out of the structure of honeycomb. You can use symbols or sigils in the house as well too, or around you. Draw them on pieces of paper, or energetically place them onto the walls, onto the ceiling, onto the floor. Reiki symbols, your own personal sigils. If you're going to Google something and it's super random, just use your discernment and make sure that it's aligned for you. Okay, Christina says, returning to my sovereignty, and then I intuitively want to visualize and grab a crystal, make a grid, and channel light language. Absolutely. You knew exactly where we're going. Creating grids is another great way to clear attune, calibrate a space as well. Move energy with grids as well too, and they can be crystal grids. They could be like, I think I'll show a video. I have a water grid that, yeah, I'll bring that up in a bit here. A water grid that Sharon had made when she was in Egypt. But yeah, just as far as symbols and sigils goes, like you can create your own, or you can use, you know, some that are very traditional, whether it's like Reiki or something else. There are glyphs as well that you can use. Just like make sure that it's aligned to you and your intentions. That's all I'm going to say about that. Grids can be placed or created anywhere. They could be physical objects like crystals. They could be elements of the earth, pine cones, wood. A lot of us use like actual creating energy grids themselves. You can use cards. Basically anything can be turned into a grid. You can use grass, seeds, all types of things. And you can place them essentially like anywhere. And then I'm just doing an all-encompassing witchy options is available to you. So a witchy option is available. You know what that means. If you are familiar with witchy options, I'm not going to really kind of get into that here because it could be like a whole presentation in and on itself. Just a few, yeah, this is basically the last slide. We talked about it before we fired up, before we started, but let's see what we got here. What don't you, Aurora, what do you say? Go ahead. Sounds very cool, even though I don't know what it is. The witchy option?
The witchy option, yeah.
All right, if you have some witchy options to share with Aurora, please drop them into our Telegram or type them into the comment below. There's all types of things that are available. You can look them up on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We even have a couple of our friends who know about that too in our Telegram. So I feel like somebody's gonna let you know. Quantum broadcasting. So I mentioned this before, and I'll just kind of put this out there as kind of like a way shower frequency. Potentially like a format change coming in the near future where we're going to do kind of like a bit more live streaming. A couple members of our community already hop on and do lives. I've done lives before too, but this is something different. This is kind of like, if you think of like Hunger Games the movie, where it's like the cameras and it's like much more immersive, that's kind of what I'm talking about. So like multiple angles, much more immersive, live stream, much more interactive too. Channeling as a group, channeling as a field, co-channeling, which we typically do in this community, and then in person and online. So having like guests come in person, or having guests kind of tap in online as well too. We did kind of a test run of this yesterday actually, and it was kind of an extensive test run. I think it was like a 6-hour kind of like live stream quantum broadcasting type of frequency. More to come, but I just wanted to share that with our community. And we got a couple trips coming up. Janvier is going to be heading to Egypt, and we're going to do a call for her, or 2 calls for sure, March 19th. So mark that on your calendar. And if you're watching this after March 19th, I apologize, but we know that it's 10 days from now. We know that you joined us in the astral, in spirit. Christina said Hunger Games minus the whole Hunger Games vibe. Maybe, maybe not. Question mark, exclamation point. Katniss, right? And then who was the it was Katniss was the main character. Who was is it Tom? Like who was her
Peter.
Okay. Thank you. Yep, nice. You guys got it. We were trying to figure out who it was yesterday. Vincent is heading to Switzerland soon, so wanted to do a call to support Vincent. as far as like pre-gridding or energetically energetically just specifically for Switzerland. Whatever the intention comes through, wanted to support Vincent. And yeah, that's basically it as far as slides go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the grounding your field, and if you have anything that you wanted to add, please feel free to drop it into either the Telegram or leave us a comment below on the replay if and when you see this. And if there's something that I missed or there's something that you wanted to see added, feel free to definitely let me know that as well too. I'm going to stop the share here, and let's definitely chat.
There is a like a accelerator lab in Europe that created a black hole. Where is that lab?
Are you talking like CERN?
Yeah.
CERN? Yeah?
Where
That
is
sounds
it?
familiar.
Is
That
it
sounds
in
familiar.
near Switzerland?
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Vincent is there. Is Vincent here?
I'm sure he's listening. Let me pull up. Where is CERN? I feel like you're right though. I think CERN is in CERN location. Yep, it's in Switzerland. Mhm. The European Union, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, also known as CERN.
You
Christina
have a
said.
big million in there, Vincent.
Christina said she got sucked into the books for Hunger Games. I'm pretty sure I read all those books too. Were you Peter or Katniss? I think everybody wanted to be Katniss. Like, let's be honest.
There is a template in the Hunger Game. So I want in the last movie, I went to the theater to watch that movie, and also the Star Wars, the Force Awaken. I also so there is a premium that we a company so the company we working at brought us to watch the premium when the movie first opened. So I think I wanted there to anchor template in there. The Hunger Game and the Star Wars, the Force Awaken, they both have lots of templates in there. Because I normally watch movie at home, but that two movie, for some reason I wanted the theater to watch.
Hmm. Huh. Did you guys watch the latest Avatar movie? There's a lot of codes in that movie too. Ash and Fire. Have you seen that one?
Not yet.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. There's a lot of codes, a lot of elements in that movie too. I think if you guys get a chance, I'm pretty sure it's out now.
Yeah, each Avatar movie represent an element. The first one is earth, either earth or air. The second one is water. Third one is fire.
Yeah, yeah. If you like the second one, you're going to love the third one because it's like it starts out. Yeah, there's like a water vibe. To me, the second one was like it was okay. Like I thought it was fine, you know. But the third one is definitely much better, I think. But if you like the second one, you'll love the third one because it definitely has some of the water in it. decade. Didn't have time. You didn't have like the 3 hours. Is that what you're saying?
No, we got the first one, and then we had like a decade or however many years to really absorb and rewatch and love that movie before the second Avatar came out.
Yeah, that feels right. Oh. Hello. Welcome in.
Forgive me, I'm almost ready for you. Oh, hi everyone.
Hi.
There's like a little reverb.
Oh.
Oi, oi, oi,
oi. Echo.
That's great.
Yeah, something just happened when
on their
Vincent did
video
that.
just like came into the call.
No,
So the
when
first thing you
Vincent.
hear is, yeah, that feels right, but it's like, yeah, that feels right. It's like surround sound and crazy.
Yeah, when Vincent did that,
So then
with
Vincent
his
came on and he was
background
like,
like breaking my brain. No, you're fine.
I don't
You're
have the right
good.
ears on me today, so I can either hear you or you can hear me. But I'm just gonna, I think, listen for a minute while you maybe calibrate me to where you are. I've been doing a beautiful bit of pre-calibrating where I am, and then in about 5 minutes or so, I'm going to transition, put you in my ear, and then I'll come back again with more something. I don't know, there's pieces, as you can probably tell, that all the technology is calibrating, so we're holding space for that with ease and grace. So
Yeah, you guys, you're doing fine. You're doing good. We had just opened the space up. We had some interesting little slides, a little slideshow. My little cute masculine brain wanted to do. And we just opened the floor for whatever's coming through as far as, we were actually just calibrating to the frequency of Avatar, Fire and Ash, Part 3.
That one. You just put him on that. Oh, yeah, no.
I definitely had a bit of that.
Oh my gosh, I thought you did. I'm so sorry.
You're good. I had a bit of that. I had some of that. Kariaka sikia katan. Ariaka sikia ka aya shokotoriaka sikia aria shokotoriaka sikia kanai. Haniakata sikiaka ania shokotoriaka sikia. The grids are well primed for this, is what I'm hearing. Bariaka sikia na aya shokotoriaka sikia kanai shokotoria sikia. We're being honored for our patience. Bariasa kataria shokotoria. And our capacity to regulate speed through this process, because there's a lot of calibrating happening on the pathways and channels within and without. As we open up the deeper vaults of our divine remembrance, and it brings in our universal inheritance. But in order to not overwhelm our systems and our collective calibration, we're being honored for the rhythm to hold steady as a collective. Pariaka sikiana ta aniaka sakaya shokotoria sikiaka ania shokotoria kasakania shakataria so diaka sakatiriaka Ariaka sakihika nanea shokotoria sikian, ariaka sakataria shokotoria kasakataria shokotor. I'm hearing something about our our luminescent inner infrastructure. Waking up to our role as quantum, like, statisticians. Lots of math and science coming through. Ariaka sikiri aka anea shokotoria sikia andia sikia katania sikia tataya katania sikiri aka taria shokotoria ka aria sikia tataria shokotoria kasa anea shokotor. So honoring everyone that's hearing my voice right now. Ariaka sikia kanaria shokotoria saka anea shokotoria kasakaria shokotoria sikiata asiaka 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 sakara 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 shikira kakararia sakataria shokotoria katanania. Tanania kasiki akatania shokoto, adiaka siki akanai, andiaka sakatania shoko, ariaka sakatania shokotoria kasiki aka asiki aka asiki aka asiki aka asiki akataria shokotoria kataria kata. Akataria sakaraya katanaya kasha sha. Iriaka Karataranakya Danadariaka Shotiaka Tatayaka Tandaraya Si Anakataya Sakiaka Shokotonia Sikiada da Eliaka Tania Sakia Tasya 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 Shiki Akanati Akata Sati Akatuti Kisiya Nani Akasha Duri Akata Siri Akati Ya 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 Bayaka Sakanaya Shokoto Antika Sikiana Antia Shokoto 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 to 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 Sikiaka Nakatariaka Narian Ansiakanai antiaka shokotoria sakata rikiaka nakata dio shokotoriaka asikiaka nata deaka to 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 dikiaka sa amiaka sakatiaka shokotoriaka sikiata. I'm hearing some gentle reminders to take this process in stride, meaning feel free to speed up or slow down as you're being called, and to deepen into that guidance within, deepening into the heart space, deepening into your breath, because as these codes come online for us more fully, more deeply, more I don't know if transparently is the correct verbiage here, but more tangibly, more felt. Remember to engage in not only self-care, but like fascia, like your skin cells, something about a shedding and releasing. On a quantum level. So a lot of patience and grace. And patience, I said that already, it must be very important. Just taking it easy, taking it at your own pace, because there's no rush to come into what's next for you. That you've given yourself everything that you need to handle it in the perfect time, in the perfect order, in all of the perfect steps for you. And there's plenty of support available. So dig deep into your heart and ask for what you need, because there's all the time in the world for this transition to really fully land. And just search for the stillness, that makes you feel safe and at peace, because it's the peace that passes all understanding that alleviates the mind and the sticky resistance that we all know. I was going to say know and love. So we're still learning how to love it, but we certainly know it. So give yourself all the space that you need, all the alone time if it's needed. Give yourself the permission to ask for that. I'm hearing Pinocchio didn't become a real boy overnight. So deepen into whatever practices resonate for you. As we reach collective resonance with one another. There's a golden heart resonance in the field that is ready to land. But it won't all land at once. And remembering that we chose that perfect path of integration for ourselves. And part of the fun in the process is leaning into the mystery that helps us find our own resonance beyond all doubt, fear, misunderstanding of any kind. So rest into the peace, into the stillness, and use your listening devices to help guide you. It's been a long journey, but we've made it. And big gratitude and appreciation and love to everyone that has surrendered all the layers of learning, that was required to make it through this challenge together. Imagine if you were in front of a portal. When you step through that portal, it's not instantaneous. A threshold of a door is the same thing. When you walk through a door, you're not a thin slice of paper that all comes through the door at once, unless you're Paper Mario, I guess. So just remembering that the raveling and the unraveling has a pace and a rhythm, and to synchronize with that rhythm, you will have the clearest expression. And breathing into that rhythm is also helpful. So sing, whistle, scat, skitty scat, boots and cats, whatever your resonance is with harmonic alignment, music. Play with those octaves, play with that accordion spectrum, to find what works for you. Dance, sing, dance, tap, jump, stomp, get outside, all these things will help you tremendously in your alignment process. And if you do need a hand, it's safe to ask. Just look for the pillars of light. And you can sing to them. You can throw a request their direction. We see you. We love you. And we're here for you. That's all I have for now. The floor is open. I'm going to transition to a different listening device, and I'll return momentarily. Thank you for this beautiful space. I'm complete.
Can you leave that on for just a minute?
Absolutely.
So I got some Styrian.
Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out.
Yeah, this was just the grounding of Sirius 2 here through your solar plexus. Feel it bubbling within you.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Vincent, Sister Lenny. That was that was something. Something is shifted. The mixed media is what I really loved. It was like the voice, it was the singing, it was the sound, it was the reverberation. Kiana ara ara kotu yana tiana tako ukiana siana kia ko uko yana tia si sisiana taka uku yana tia nata shoku uki yana takar ki yana taka o Sianata ko sisianata. Sianata ka ar oti sisiano ko hoti anata ka ara ati anata ka ati siana. It's interesting because I call my council, my personal council, Syrian, but they're probably like half the council is Syrian, but I just refer to them as my Syrian council, and they were kind of like, as I was tapping in after the transmission ended, they were kind of like pulling my awareness like up and out, and they were definitely pleased by the transmission that Vincent had and Lenny had just given us. What else do you guys have? Feel free to unmute and share. I would love to hear your thoughts, or if anything came through or shifted for you.
So it kind of feels like, I don't know whether to compare it to maybe going into an airplane or doing scuba diving, like when you're experiencing a change in pressure really quickly. Um, like my ears are still kind of popping, but at first it was like, oh, is my head hurting? And I was like, no, that's not like I'm getting a headache. That's like, okay. It's like in everywhere where there's like sinuses in your skull, in all those bones. It's like, okay. Like I feel like, yeah, those are the words I have. It was amazing.
Christina, I want to add to that. It was totally amazing. But in that feeling, I have the same feeling. And when that came about for me before, with like that head pressure, like as if you're scuba diving, like you kind of have to like put bubbles, like now see like, like bubbles like around you, like kind of like balance out that pressure, or it might be counterintuitive for some people, but even go to the bottom of the ocean, like take it out. And it kind of helps because it was that activating. It really was legit. It was so powerful.
I had a visual while I was there. It was hard to interpretate at first, but it was like I was speaking to us under the water in Sirius, in one of the planets. I'm not sure exactly where. It's very blue. There were a lot of us were there, and we were at like a completion also, and that it was like we were bringing in the frequency of all that we were taught from the time that we were on Sirius itself, because like they speak and preach love like you wouldn't believe, and it's like so flowing and reverberating and like blustery, I guess is the word that just came to me. It was like it blows and flows through you like the bubble, like hearing a bubble pop under the water is like the information that you can just get the information from everything around you from that bubble popping underwater. So yeah, that was fun. My like solar plexus is just blowing up on fire right now. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm confirming the ears too. There was a lot of ear pressure as well. And yeah, I wrote Sirius C in the chat, and so there's Sirius A and B, and you can't necessarily like detect C. Ooh, right ear confirmation currently as I'm saying that in real time. But Sirius C is something you kind of have to feel into kind of energetically. So if you're listening um, to this transmission, one of the things I loved was I would really enjoy working with instruments, and whether it's like you performing it or you like receiving the didgeridoo, the bell, the tingsha, which she had, crystalline has the bowls as well has come in recently. We talked about like tuning forks, I think yesterday as well too. All of these instruments, modalities, and tools are available to you. And Linian even made a good point: is that maybe it's not readily available due to like your funds. You can just like go to your local crystal shop, your local sound store, or go to a healing center and just like use them. You don't necessarily need to like buy them, but you can go there and like pick them up and play with them and listen to them and hold the tuning fork up to your ear and then swap sides, or like touch it to like your temple is another way that we do that you can like receive it as well too. So yeah, that's just something that had come forward. Listening, my ears want to listen underwater, craving it. Yeah, can you share how do you do that for those of us who are listening at home?
In a bathtub, just like take a bath and sit underwater for a little bit. If you like, I know the level of the tub, so I know where it is. So for me to lay with my back completely flat, but still have like my nose above water completely, like that's the best. But you know, you float, so but it's nice like hearing the normal sounds around you, whether like in your home or other apartments or outside in the woods, like to hear everything like through the water. It's just like, oh, I don't know. It just great breathing. It's really relaxing. And I get overstimulated a fair amount with life or with sounds that happen. So it's that's one of my favorite ways to kind of like give my ears a reset.
Aurora said, that's what I felt in January where my ear is really stuffed. Rachel says she is super buoyant. I float, I am super buoyant. That's nice. That's really interesting. One of the things that I was thinking of too as you were sharing that, Christina, was when we were in Egypt, we were doing some diving. Snorkeling, but like also diving too. And if you dive under the water, one of the things you learn as you're learning to like dive is that it's different underwater. Things sound like they're very close or right on top of you. And actually, just due to the way a sound wave like works, they may be like further away. So it's difficult to judge distance just based on sound too. And light refracts differently under the water. And okay, Rachel said, my neighbor dives and he taught my boyfriend and I how to dive. And in your pool, whoa, that's cool.
That's how I learned, thank goodness. Because that was like, I'm going to overcome this fear of water. I learned how to scuba. This was like 2004. And the first time with all the gear on that I go under the water in the pool, like total panic attack. I was like, whoa, okay. But hey, I'm alive. That works. I can still breathe. Let's try again. But it was, I actually really, really loved scuba diving.
Oh, nice. We also have something happening here. I just want to like name this. We're in the we got like the upside down frequency.
So we're in the quantum spaceship. The magic school bus. Iniaka asikiaka aniashko tikiata 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 katiaka sakata. And I love that we're talking about scuba diving because and the building that I passed right when you said that was called Sky Point. Pariaka asikia kataya 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 kataya. So opening to our causal chakra, allowing resonance. Move it through you, move it through you. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Upside down. There was something coming in earlier about it came in with quantum tunneling, but it was about like like we get hold on getting clarity around this. It's like something about giving ourselves like I heard access points, but it's like a viewpoint into like looking at ourselves at a point on the timeline, because it's almost like we're going to start showing up for ourselves like forwards and backwards in time in a way. And just like it's almost like kind of knocking on the door. It's like knocking on our awareness, like knock 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 knock, who's there? Resonance check. Consent check. Driving into the sunset frequency, but it came in with the Little Mermaid frequency, so it was almost like our little dolphin friends. So we're like, dee, 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 dee. Hey, remember me? Dee, 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 dee. Hey, do you know how much you guys come to aquariums and tap on our fucking glass? Dee, 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 dee. Tapping, 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 tapping. Remember me? Kariaka say remember, remember, remember. Bariaka an, abariaka an, akadariaka asikiaka da, da, asikiaka da, da. Sing it out, ga, 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 ga. Quantum batteries. Batteries, batteries, batteries. Reclaiming all our batteries. Soul batteries. Bidikiki akasiki sunset, drive into the sunset. Bariaka sakata. That's what I have for now. Thanks for receiving my upside down frequency. We've been in the upside down for so long, we forgot we're the ones that are upside down, so I'm just reminding us. I left my heart in San Francisco. Shout out to the birds. You know who you are.
One of the things too, maybe you can chat about some. I'd love to hear your. I was sharing with them earlier about the frequency because we may be having a shift into quantum broadcasting. It's kind of like something that's going to be coming in. Currently had a test run yesterday, a 6-hour quantum broadcast. Thank you to Vincent who hopped in, and a couple other friends who helped us kind of test the field. But what was really interesting is we were in this conference room, fairly decent size, maybe like 20 chairs. I didn't count the chairs, but we were calling in council members to, like, as we were opening the space, and we work with a whole wide variety of different guides, helpers, allies, children, soul aspects, um, soul groups, soul families. And what was really interesting that happened yesterday that I haven't had happen, besides the quantum broadcast itself, which was a brand new frequency that I hadn't experienced before, but as we were opening the space and calling in the counselors who were most aligned, no, she's going to publish it, not up on YouTube yet, but what happened, which was really interesting, and I just want to share this with you guys because I haven't experienced this until yesterday, is that as we were calling in the councils, right, what came in, it was Lenny and I in a conference room. There was one big TV on one side, one big TV on the back, so we were having this kind of like this whole like broadcast happening, and they came, so it was like my highest self came in and her highest purest essence came in. And when I say that, it doesn't sound super like, oh my goodness, right? Because we work with these frequencies all the time. I work with the frequency of my highest self. But I have never had my highest self come in a way to like take a seat at the table with, 19 other council members, or seeing seeing, when I'm putting seeing, air quotes, her highest purest essence. Like typically it's like I'm just working with that frequency, or maybe I'm channeling with my highest self, but I didn't see them when I'm channeling with them. They don't like enter the room and sit next to me. You know what I'm saying? So that was something that is like brand new, and I was like, well, this is dope. I've never actually even had the ability to kind of like conceptualize it, yes, but like actually like see them take a seat at the table. And then many of, if you're working with us in the field too, like we definitely felt your presence at the table as well. We weren't working with anybody's individual. We weren't calling anybody in individually. I just want to kind of caveat that. But yeah, maybe, I don't know, Lenny, if you wanted to talk about like the quantum broadcast frequency. It's kind of like, Peter is his name. It's kind of like Katniss. Like I was Katniss and you were Peter, and then like we swapped places, and then you were Katniss, and then I don't know. There was something that's like purely conceptual, but
Yeah, so one thing I will say about the calling in of, frequencies. Councils, but specifically they were high councils. They were like councils of the highest order, is what I just heard. And so the resonance that we brought in by calling in our highest selves, I heard monad resonance when you just reiterated it. And so it's almost like there's layers of us coming in to the, I don't know, quantum boardroom, I just heard, to have a seat at the table and discuss this resonance frequency and like consent check and remembrance check and all the things that we've kind of been talking about. And so it's like in a way this whole disclosure process is getting us ready for the many layers of ourselves that are our infinite wisdom that come into the room when we connect with our highest frequency, our highest purest essence, our direct connection to source. Like we invoke this thing conceptually when we do, some of our work and our group work and whatever individual practices that you may have. It's smart to call in your highest purest essence, or your monad connection, your oversoul family, like whatever resonates most for you right now. Use your discernment on that, but in a way it's like we're seeing the quantum harmonics resonating through all of those aspects because they've been mapped at a quantum level. We've reclaimed all the pieces, and now we're walking through the process to bring them all online in harmonic resonance. Sorry, I'm saying these buzzwords a lot, but that's what it's feeling like to me. And so it's layers of the onion that are being shown to us, so that because we're giving ourselves the opportunity to consent to the To all the dudes on the ranch. I don't know why, why I just heard that. But as far as the quantum broadcasting goes, it's really interesting to think about. It feels to me like holographic. I don't know what word to put right here. Frequency, alignment, remembrance, even. The dreams that I've been having, particularly the last like night or two, I don't know how else to describe it other than holographic, which is really fascinating. So, and the other stuff that's been coming in just today has been about receiving our divine memories, like our divine inheritance through our memories, like structure, infrastructure, is part of what brings our quantum resonance back online. And so take your time integrating your dreams. Go as slow as you need to with it. But it's something about like our quantum listening ears, our quantum vision, our and again, this quantum is kind of a buzzword because there's many layers to it, but that's why we're being shown the remembrance of the layers of the onion and all of the ways that we chose to forget, so that we can give ourselves the opportunity to consent to remember again. And so, you haven't figured it out by now. That's what we're doing here. But yeah, watch for what I'm kind of seeing. As a result of this quantum broadcasting is like the opportunity as well to open up to our divine inheritance. When we think of inheritance, we've been so programmed to think of abundance as money and financial gain, but what we're forgetting is the real intelligence is in our attention, and it's in our inner sanctum, our inner sensuality. And what I mean by that is the unification of all of our senses, sight, sound. There's other ones that we are going to come online with that we don't remember, but we will if we choose to. That in the unity of all of the aspects of ourself and fullness and wholeness brings in a lot of cool stuff and gifts. So again, take your time with integrating all of that, because it's a lot, and you might have warning bells and alarm bells, or what you think might be alarm bells going off when you interact with those versions of yourself. But just know that deepening into the heart space and following your heart resonance, because this is a protected process, and there's something to be said about it's safe to remember our power. It's safe to remember our divine nature as infinite creator beings. And we don't fully comprehend that yet. And so just giving yourself grace in the process of remembering who you are is crucial. And be patient with yourself, show yourself a lot of grace, and feel free to lean on your animal and bird friends and all of the beautiful elements around us we are co-creating this together, and that's on all levels. So just witnessing that and honoring that. And yeah, it's a little bit like how there's like technology out there, and I don't know how conceptual it still is, or if they've actually like how far they've gotten in like the like physicality of creating these like sort of enhanced glasses that can show you things on the lenses. Like, I don't want to say artificial intelligence, because it's no longer artificial. What we're unlocking is our organic intelligence that we chose to forget for a little while. So you might start seeing, different images in your eyes. You might start hearing sounds and birds and songs and bells and different things that, may or may not be there on a physical level, but that doesn't mean that they're not real. It doesn't mean that they're in your imagination. They may or may not be, and that's part of the fun and the mystery of this game. So just remember it's a game, and have fun with it, and tap into those parts that want to have fun with it, and ask for what you need, ask for what you need to know, and then be ready to receive it. Give yourself the permission to receive it, because it's safe now. It's been unsafe for a long time, but we're part of the reason why, a big reason why we're all celebrating in this when we're on these calls, is because we have walked through enough layers of it to have the confidence to know that we can, say this to you and, have no fear about it. So thank you for witnessing that. Thanks for playing in the upside down with me. It's driving some people crazy right now. I can hear it. Well, that's okay. That's us having fun. We're having fun. Allow yourself to receive fun.
Upside down word. And I also love your echo chamber. I wish I had more chance to talk in there.
Yeah, thank you for that. Any other additional shares before we kind of call this into completion for tonight? Yeah, it's like Vincent's background is like doing something to my brain as well too. I don't know what's happening.
It's doing something to my causal chakra. The chakra on the back of your head is that the causal? What's the chakra on the back of your head called?
That's a good question. Who's a chakra expert? I'm not.
Rachel says it's causal.
Okay.
Yeah.
That might be a good place to breathe into. I just heard. 1110110010101.
She says, but I do breathe light into it a lot. Thank you, Rachel, for the confirmation. Oh, I wrote something into the Telegram too, and I'll just something to continue to think about for us and our community and our friends and all of our other communities as well too, is the back of the neck, mouth of God, open flow into the causal. Rachel, did you want to share about that, or?
It's been coming in for the past 2 weeks in the JJ community. Like that, like the neck and the central channel, but like your back, like people forget about their back sections. And that was part of the, I don't know, when was that? A week? It could have been last week. It could have been this weekend. I don't know what time is, but yeah, the back of the neck is called the mouth of God. You know how people say navel chakra, but other people are like, no, it's not a chakra. It's like the mouth of God is a similar scenario. But when you breathe in to the causal, you're gonna make sure the back, your mouth of God, the back of your neck is also not kinked, because a lot of us have, I go to a chiropractor every week. So a lot of us have tech neck and stuff like that. So that gets in the way.
Nice, thank you. Yeah, tech neck is it's a thing. Everybody's looking at their cell phones, or due to staring at a screen all day, because a lot of people they spend 8 to 10 hours a day staring at a screen, and then we come home and we stare at another screen, and yeah, it's a whole thing too. The nape of the neck is one of those areas, just like you had shared too. I think it's considered a minor chakra technically, although just harmonizing the chakras and the energy meridians. I was talking specifically about what I wrote into the Telegram. Telepathy, group telepathy is online, ready and available, anchored into the field. If you are aligned to that, the heart resonance field specifically, something that would love to get much more conscious in and calibrated and attuned to as well. And then of course, like, we're very adept at speaking and like moving our hands for like transmitting with our voice as well too. But that's kind of like a try flame, try fold, try weave in a way of just a way to kind of expand our awareness, expand our consciousness into these other levels and layers that are available to us. And even within our community, kind of like embodying that frequency and anchoring that for the collective. Telepathy's been coming in for the last year. We've all kind of agreed upon that, but getting much more kind of like resonant and stable and coherent, kind of in like a group field. I think there's some value in that if you're feeling aligned to that, of course. But yeah, tomorrow we will have our stream of consciousness call at the normal time, which is basically 100% channeled for the most part. And then I had typed into the slide, so Janvier will be heading to Egypt, coming up soon at the end of the last week of March. So we're going to have for sure a call on the 19th, confirm that date. Trying to confirm a second date, looking like potentially the 12th or another day. I'm not exactly sure. If I get that confirmed, I'll drop it into the Telegram and let you guys know. But for sure, the 19th is confirmed for her schedule. And then Vincent Paul St. Martin, our dear brother, will be heading to Switzerland. So we would love to kind of support him in whatever way feels most aligned for him. So if we get something that's confirmed, I'll share that out. But yeah, any last shares before we call it for tonight? Love you guys so much. Thank you for your time, energy, attention, focus, field, love.
Yeah, I have some from the redwoods. There's like okay, some of this is encoded. So 2727 intersection 54, 9 and 9, and 9 and 9 builders, 9 and 9, levy, 9 and 90, levy, 9 and 9 and 9, 5461 arches. Bakitiaka Sakiaka Tarayashiko Taylor, Gadiaka Taylor, Gadiaka Bueller, Gadiaka Taylor. Tim the Toolman Taylor came through on this quantum broadcast that Fate mentioned, because remember when you said there's that neighbor with his face across so something about eyes, but the hills have eyes, but but not the scary kind. But Whitaker, but the park frequency, game fields, but Zions, but 9 again, 90. Rivers, the rivers of time, the quantum rivers of time have been harmonized. So redwoods, redwoods, rainbow redwoods, rainbow aspens, rainbow redwoods, schools, 36, but it's at 39, but it's 3 and 6 is 9, 3 and 9 is 12, but Larkin, but Insta Kids, but Roxy, but Beehive resonance, online, beehive resonance, online, Brisbane, All the horses in the pasture, horses, horses, horses. Bakatiaka, sakatiaka, sikiaka, tsikiaka, 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 sikakakakakakaturiaka, sakaturiaka, sakaturiaka, kakakakakaka. Do 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 landing, landing, landing. Do 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 landing. Do 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 do. Safe to land, safe to land. Confirm, 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 confirm. Do 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 dee 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 do 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 do. Dee do dee do dee do dee do. Fun, 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 fun. Dee do dee do. Fun, 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 fun. Ikiaka, sikiaka, ikiaka, ikiaka, spark, spark, ignite, 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 on, poo, coo, 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 reboot, reboot, do, 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 Kuriaka, siki, do, 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 putika, ta, 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 tika, ta, 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 ika, ta, ta, legacy of love, katiaka, sikiaka, ta, ta, legacy of love at the ranch, tiaka, ta, 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 power planet, power planet, power planet, bop, 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 online systems calibrated, tiki, tiaka, ta, 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 pariaka, ka, 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 13, 13, 13, tiaka, sa, triple confirmation, ti, 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 shoo, 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 shoo. Mountain view. Bariakasikia Kataria Shakotoru, Kudo, 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 Kudo. Northbound mountain view. Kudo, Kudo, Kudo. Spark ignited. Deep, 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 deep. Shoo, 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 shoo. Golden temple. Golden temple. Pop, 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 pop. Bariakasakata, da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Calibrating, calibrating, calibrating. Rainbow road, rainbow road. Tick, 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 tick. Extra space, extra space. Rainbow road. Consent granted. Access granted. Full access, full access. Keys to the kingdom, keys to the kingdom. Consent, consent, consent. Shoo, 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 slow when needed. Welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home. Perfect 10. Perfect 10. Perfect 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Pariakasaka, da, da, da. Game Haven. Da, da, da. Make way for the park. Make way for the park. Ba, 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 ba. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Shoo, 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 shoo. Break of dawn, break of dawn, break of dawn. Somewhere the rain way up high. Sparkle farts from the unicorns. Sparkle fart, sparkle fart, sparkle fart. Beep, 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 beep. Rainbow road, rainbow road. Beep, 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 beep. Da, 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 da. Timmy, Tommy, Timmy, Tommy, Timmy, Tommy, bed, 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 bitty, bed, bop, 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 bitty, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, kick, 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 kick. Shoo, 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 shoo. Portal of infinity. Boom, 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 boom. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much. Love you guys so much. Feel free to unmute, and we will see you tomorrow or in the Telegram or work with you in the field. Such a powerful, powerful frequency and love, love, love. Sending you guys so much love.